Hello. Hello. How you doing? Yes, the music is baller. How are you doing, Fire Mango? Yeah, the music is incredible, isn't it? Love White Bat Audio, man. The link is in the chat. They're great. And they're always coming out with new mixes, like every single month or something like that. It's pretty incredible. Anyway, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. 13 minutes, yeah. That fits, honestly. Ugh. Party of 45 at the pool, huh? That sounds like a ton of fun. How about me? Really didn't do too much of nothing today. Except I had to spend all day trying to figure out why ClipChamp wasn't working. So I did some recordings today, right? Probably about 4 hours worth of recording, and I put it in ClipChamp, fired up, ready to go, and I click export. The app updates, restarts, and erases everything. And I'm like, huh. And it happened every single time, no matter what I did. So, I had to do some problem solving. And then I figured out ClipChamp is browser based. You have to have a connection to the internet in order for it to work. If you have it like downvoted in priority, right? If it's like downranked in priority or deprioritized, right? when it comes to its internet everything, um, then basically it becomes unworkable because part of its function is, well, internet and web based. So the fact that I had it basically put on the back burner made it work as if it was broken, essentially. That's as simple as I could put it, really. So yeah, fucking, it's not been a good time. But I've been having a nice high time all day, so that makes it all better, honestly. Because I'm like, oh fuck, there's all this work I did. It's gone now. Rawr. Rawr. Anyway, um, but yeah, I guess that's balance. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I'm having a great time, but all the stuff I'm doing gets turned to shit. But I'm having a great time. I'm getting punched in the face, but I don't feel it. Oh shit. Oh man. But isn't that some shit? Isn't that some shit? So I have to redo like all the requests I got from yesterday tomorrow. Oh shit, dude. All right, I gotta ask you, do you know what a femboy is? As far as I'm aware, it's like a lady boy, essentially, or a she boy, a lady boy or a she boy from back in my day, or at least that's my conceptualization of it. Do you have a good explanation to give? Eh, okay. Why do I have a feeling this might be some absolutely gay shit? I got a feeling. I got a feeling this is some gay shit. I got a feeling. All right. Is so I had a feeling this is where it was gonna go. That's why I jumped ahead of you, bub. I was guessing. I was like, there's, it's got to be. I had a feeling this was coming. I had a feeling. Well, anyway, was I right? It's probably this one too. Um, Pretty much ladyboy, but like more masculine without any surgeries or estrogen. Uh, so it's a dude who's very effeminate, like a pretty boy. Well, anyway, I know it's not trans. That's a different thing entirely. I am all too familiar with it. Uh, you need to watch Professor Lant. Yeah, I've kind of figured. I kind of figured that's where it was going. Was gonna recommend his video. Just gotta trust me. Yeah, I figured. I had an idea. I was like, watch this be the thing that pops up. All right, I'm back. Yeah, the thing that went bump in the night bumped into me and then vanished. I don't know why. I was kind of wanting to have like a boss fight on stream and then go viral. Anyway, too bad. Nothing met my expectations at all. Anyway, um, just gotta trust me. Shit's hilarious. He also has like one on furries and other internet shit. Okay. Not family content. Not many Badger approved. Something went bump in the night, Badger. I know. That's why I brought out the piece. Went and cleared the house real quick. Any schmoozle. So yeah, is that a request from you, Fire Mango? Is it a request? Yeah. Okay, so from Fire Mango on the stream, a request. Professor, oh, I guess I left the cursor on it and it freaking, and it played the damn thing. I wasn't even paying freaking attention. Fuck. Nobody's gonna object. There's nobody else here as far as I'm aware. Um, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Fuck. Oh yeah, live stream request from Fire Mango in the chat. Femboys Explained by Professor Lando. Oh man, I swear to God, if he references what I think he references, Lando. Well, okay. Well, anyway, you ready? I'm not. Let's go. Let's go. Take it away, Professor.
What are we talking about today?
Oh, shit. It's quiet. Quiet as fuck. There we go. All right. Let's go.
Femboys.
Ah.
Colloquially might be called fembology. I think technically speaking is femboyology. Again, colloquially as femboys with an I. In terms of pronunciation, I think we are talking about femboys. As most of our definitions do, coming from Wikipedia, femboy is a slang term for a young male who displays traditionally feminine characteristics. So a male who displays
Then that's the end of it, right? Shouldn't that just be it? Shouldn't that just. Shouldn't that be all that there is?
boys. As most of our definitions do, coming from Wikipedia, femboy is a slang term for a young male who displays traditionally feminine characteristics. So
There you go. That's it. That's all. Need I go further? That's it. There we go. What are femboys? That's the answer. Done. Unless somebody lives like freaking Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants under a literal rock, they can kind of pick up, okay, femboy, female, boy, mix it together. Okay, I got a general idea. I would think. That's the question. No, because lock in unk. No, because get it, our femboy is gay. If they're attracted to dudes, they are, I guess. Faramingo, that's the question. Yes, it's not so cut and dry. What do you. Okay, I'm interested in hearing this one. Why is it not so cut and dry? Watch the video and find out. Fuck. I was trying to skip it. Okay, fine. Let's go. We're going. We're going. All right, we'll go. Let's go. All right. But anyway, basically that's it. Anyway, wait, did I answer your question about femboys and gay or homo or whatever? Did it make sense when I gave you an answer? We're going on a trip on a DI rocket ship. Well, anyway, when I answered earlier, did it make sense? Do I need to expand on that? Okay, let's go.
a male who displays traditionally, right, feminine characteristics. A little bit of history. The word femboy emerges by at least the 90s, the 1990s, and beginning as a sort of derogatory term for a man who didn't adhere to, here's the word again, traditional standards of masculinity.
Well, it depends also on what you mean by traditional. Right? Because there's like traditions that would be bizarre to the vast majority of people from obscure freaking places. I mean, like the dog and pony show. Look up what dog and pony shows are. Have fun with that shit. That's from a pretty obscure part of the world. It's not done all over the planet. It's from one specific place. Or mutilation. private mutilation. It's in very obscure places in the world. It's not from everywhere. But those are all traditional. Those are traditions. So, by whose metric are we going by? Now, yes, look, I'll get to a point really quick. What's the tradition we're going by, right? Now, I can assume from how this young man does everything and presents it that he's going off of some kind of Western foundational values from which to base everything off of, right? But tradition doesn't always mean good. I mean, there's a tradition in an obscure place in Afghanistan where basically they make the girls used to it by the time they're in the double digits. If you catch my drift. But that's a traditional thing for them. That's all I'm saying. We gotta be careful about these kinds of things. But anyway, uh, this is exactly why uh, making you watch internet shit posts is so funny. You're in this way too deep. Peak. Well, it's a big problem of mine, I believe, is that I'm always thinking too deeply, right? I don't know if anybody knows the story, right? But there's a story that comes to mind of somebody who it's kind of like Icarus, but in the water. And the story goes that someone got used to swimming in shallow waters and then they went out too deep. And even though they had learned how to swim, they had not properly learned how to dive. Right? It was an order of magnitude they couldn't handle. And they got stuck there, essentially. That's how my brain kind of works. Anyway, let's continue. But yeah, you say this is a shit post. Does that mean it's just a joke all the way up and down? I don't know. I'm having fun with it. You let me know.
Being a slang shortening of the word feminine, right here. And boy, obviously coming from the fact that they are male. It does seem that, especially in internet culture, that femboy, the term femboy, has emerged as sort of a positive term, appealing to a range of individuals who might be attracted to a mix of feminine and masculine traits, perhaps even prompting a genre of internet media. In recent times, the platform Pornhub has even introduced the term femboy as a searchable category on its website, and that happened in 2013. And since then, the search interest for the term has dramatically increased. So again, we're going back to the idea of the origins of femboy being, Wikipedia states derogatory and becoming more and more, you could say perhaps is, dare I say, co-opted. I would like to make the comparison to like the word weeaboo, weeb, starting as something a little derogatory, but being used sometimes tongue-in-cheek, but definitely becoming a sort of positive term.
Holy shit, dude. This is a classic amalgamation. I'm not going to lie. I like it. There's elements of The Office here, right? Some parts from shoot, what's that other show that it was kind of like The Office, but it had I forget if it was Tina Fey. Well, anyway, Tina Fey or something, right? But yeah, no. And then there's like, there's elements of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Some of those classic FX shows from back in the day, back when TV was kind of was still worth watching. You had a bunch of shit from Joss Whedon that was incredible. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yeah, that's right. That's another one with the other Berg kid. Scrubs, yeah, that's right, Scrubs. Oh man, good times. I swear. That and Friends and all them. How I Met Your Mother, dude. How I Met Your Mother. Sit down, kids. I'm gonna tell you the story of How I Met Your Mother. And then like fucking 150 plus episodes later. Good times, man. Good times.
That you
Firefly, dude. Firefly with Nathan Fillion. Who is that beautiful like crazy chick actress? Was it Alexis Bledel? No. No, it wasn't Alexis Bledel. It was shit, what's her name? It wasn't Alexis Bledel. It was dude, I forgot her name. That's so sad to me. But yeah, with Nathan Fillion and them. Dude, legendary. Legendary. Anyway, let's continue the video. But yeah, I like this recommendation. It's pretty fun. It's reminiscent.
I do think it's not wrong of me to say that someone that we would think fits in this category, a femboy, would refer to themselves as a femboy. Femboy, the term, right, as I just said, it came to be adopted as a self-descriptor. Descriptor for guys who tend toward presenting feminine, a scale of femininity, some more than others, some less, for non-sexual purposes, right? These persons adopt femininity as a form of everyday expression, gender expression, right? Donning a conventionally, traditionally feminine aesthetic by wearing, it could be a range, right? It can include all of the following or one, wearing makeup, feminine clothing, dresses, thigh highs, panties, garter belts, and chokers. Being a femboy, it doesn't necessarily tie to any sexual orientation. Very often, question is it gay? Complicated.
What's the saying? It's only weird if you make it weird. It's kind of how that works. Honestly. I mean, it's kind of like basic training, right? There are a lot of people who never had to share a space to conduct hygiene with other people in before. A lot. And nowadays, it's the vast majority. But back in the day, right, at the high schools, we had showers, communal showers. And there was one for the girls and one for the guys. And it would change depending on who was doing what at where location at what time during the day. And plenty of spaces in between for all the funny business. You know what I mean? But yeah, freaking like for football practice and stuff, right next to right at the gymnasium, there was two different showers. There were showers on the north east side of the gym and the southwest side of the gym. And we would switch locations with the girls intermittently, depending on what they were doing for either PE class or if they were doing sports or something, right? But yeah, Anyway, it comes back to that. It's like, look, it's only weird if you make it. If you're like, oh gosh, all of this meat everywhere in my face. Oh. Well then, there's something, you know. Well then, if that bugs you that much, if you are that much bothered by it, right? If you're not that bothered by it, if you're look, just saying. I mean, what's that one show? Shameless or whatever. I think it was Shameless, like, season 1, episode like fucking, what was it, like 20, I think, where the one kid who like bullies the other kid becomes, they become a kind of like a hedonist couple, like a bicule or whatever, like a hookup couple or whatever, friends with benefits, I guess, whatever that is, right? He was quite vehemently against the one for whom things happened later, I would say. Very often, those who are the absolute most just zoomed in on that one thing are either projecting, right, or it's the opposite. They were either, I don't know how to describe that without it sounding bad. Well, anyway, let's continue the video. But those types of people, they're either um, they're either victims or victimizers. One of the two. Anyway, let's continue.
Answer. I know you want a yes or no.
I had communal showers in middle school. Badgers on the side of it's not gay to crack a fanboy. Man of culture. To crack a fanboy? What do you mean? To crack him? Like to punch him in the face? Break their jaw? As far as I'm aware, it's not gay to fight. Well, anyway, while I'm waiting for you to expand on that one, to crack a fanboy? Crack a fanboy? What on earth does that even mean? Well, anyway, while you're explaining that, I'm going to continue with the video.
Answer. And it's simply, it cannot be done. To tackle the question, are femboys gay? Very common question. A little uninformed and, a little ignorant if you ask me. But I'm not here to judge. I'm here to teach.
This guy has the smug, I got into education to be to be an indoctrinator and a propagandist, because I'm super smart. That's where I'm going to put all my points, is toward the wrong faction. Anyway, but yeah, no, freaking he's got it down to a T. I love it. Plus, like the whole like playing up the Asian stereotype thing is it's even better. No, don't look it up. It has its roots in popping the cherry. If you know, you know. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that would be then. If it's dude and dude, that is. Just like if it's like what is it? Female to male trans or whatever. An FTS. Or no, FTM, female to male. If a dude dates that, well, it's another dude. So it's gay. That's how that works. If it's the same chromosomes, right? Same biology, same chromosome, same biology. That's how that works. Fire Mango. No, but you're attracted to the feminine features. You see how this has created an internet argument for years. I don't see it, honestly. Well, anyway, let's continue. Yeah. Let's keep going. Attracted to just feminine features. It's so one-dimensional. I mean, sure, men can get like stimulated or aroused from like inanimate objects, but in order for a guy to get that far, right, that attraction, well, there has to be a whole woman included with it. Or at least if the guy's straight, right? If someone's bi or the other way, then it doesn't matter to them. Well, anyway, let's continue. But yeah, if it was just features alone, well then shoot, dude, like tree cutouts would do just as well. But there's a human being behind that, so it's not one-dimensional. If it was one-dimensional, then all you would need is features. You wouldn't even need to talk. Actually, you wouldn't even need sharp vision either. Because if it was just features, right? Well, it's shapes more than depths that up the attractive ante for people. It's not the reverse. Well, anyway, let's continue. But yeah, let me know what you think of that.
In quantum mechanics, Schrodinger's cat is a thought experiment that illustrates a paradox of quantum superposition. Schrodinger's cat, literally a cat in this thought experiment, is encased in this box, right? And there's a flask of poison right here and a radioactive source placed in a sealed box. If an internal monitor, in this case a Geiger counter, detects radioactivity as in a single atom decaying, the flask right here is shattered, releasing the noxious poison, which in turn kills the cat. The Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics implies that after a while, the cat is simultaneously both alive or dead. The thought experiment is that once you look into the box, you can see that the cat is either going to be alive or dead. When you literally open the box, you can't see it both be alive and dead. It's either going to be alive or dead. But before you observe it to be, before you open the box to look inside and see it, it's either alive or dead until you confirm it. Schrodinger's cat, or another aka Schrodinger's femboy.
Well, I mean, it's a fun thing. What do you think of Schrodinger's cat, Fire Mango? What do you think of it? Well, I'm certain of that, right? I've kind of got that kind of gauged. Not exactly what I'm asking. I'm asking, what are your thoughts on Schrodinger's cat? Like, what's your conclusion on it? Your immediate thought conclusion? Like, what logical end point of thought for it do you come to? I personally enjoy it, but it also feels to me like something that just says flip a coin. Which that has something to do with it as well, yes. That's very much connected to it. Even as just a thought experiment, it's a fun one. The thing is that due to the facts of connectivity, right, which is um, inevitability, right, that's a bit different. I think that saying the cat is either alive or dead. There's a very simple name for the concept that Schrodinger's cat basically covers. There's a very simple word for it. Tries to imply an understanding that we know what's going on in the box. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to read all those together. Okay. Feels to me like something that just says flip a coin, but I think that saying the cat is either alive or dead tries to imply an understanding that we know what's going on in the box. Okay. Shoot, my chair's broken. Ugh, it's broken. Ugh. Anyway, so well actually, Fire Mango, there is one simple word that explains the conclusion of Schrodinger's cat. I think it's us trying to create parameters for unknowns because that's how our brains work. Well, there's actually a simpler conclusion. Very simple. And it's one word. Let me know if you can guess it. It'd be very fun if you could. Just one simple word concludes all of it. Well, no, because um, a paradox does not have a conclusion, really. Thus, it's a paradox, right? How do you conclude this thing that seems to have no conclusion to it? A paradox stream delay is a bit. Oh, okay, I get you. But anyway, it's not paradox though. Although there are things similar to Schrodinger's cat or based upon it that are paradoxes. But you're on the right track when it comes to certain letters. It's incredibly simple. Well, history, part of the foundation of history is built upon this word. Um, you know, and in the conclusions that humanity place upon it, right? I just enjoy funny words from peeps. Yeah. Um, well, the word is potential. That's the conclusion, right, of Schrodinger's cat. And it's literally that simple. There's nothing extra to it, nothing more to it. It seems like there should be, right? It seems like there should be something more grand. But quite usually, these things are not such. Fire Mango. All of this over fanboys is really fucking funny. Yeah, it's a good time. I enjoy using my brain, and I enjoy giving people a reason to laugh. If it's at my expense, right? Or wait, no, I gotta do it the other way. Tanks, Ossifer. Tanks. Tanks? Where? Anyway, let's continue. Apologies. I'm ranting. But yeah, Schrodinger's cat's very fun.
Gay and not gay at the same time. It doesn't feel right to say it's strictly gay, but it's definitely not straight. This harkens back to the definition of gender expression being, feminine as a guy. The world is not black and white, binaries. We work in shades of gray or shades of gay. Moving on. Any questions about that? I think I'm being pretty straightforward about this. Being a femboy, dressing
He even pauses like he's doing it for a class. I love it. It's great.
effeminate, again, can be a sort of gender expression role. It doesn't always have to be sexual. However, maybe a little misguided to completely ignore that side of things. So, we're going to be talking about, this is a subject that I'm very familiar with. In fact, our groundbreaking research on this subject is what got me my initial platform here at Ligma University. We're going to be talking about the bussy. Why is it so submissive and breedable? We talk about the bussy, we talked about submissive and breedable, and that the intersection, the union rather, is bussy, but we never answered the question, why the bussy? On the surface level, one might consider a male's
Oh shit, dude. This is great. This is great. I love it. I love it. He's including all the terms. All the terms, all the words, the simple drawing and art style and such, keeping it dumbed down for simple monkey brains. He live streams his sessions, or he did. He also introduced a college art character as a student. Oh man.
entrance to be the exact opposite of breedable. When compared to the conventional woman's bussy, or wussy, as I call it. But that is the exact reason why the bussy is so desirable. I think it has to do with subversion. The fact that the male entrance is not supposed to be bred makes it that much more desirable. Like a cookie jar that your mom left out. You can only have one after dinner. Don't go near that cookie jar. Don't go, hey, get away from my bussy. Again, a woman's bussy, a wussy, is traditionally, biologically meant to be bred.
Oh shit, dude. Oh man. This is on a list somewhere. Now so are you and I. Dear God. Where on earth did I forgot where those terms even came from? I completely forgot how those got started. I believe it was like the mid 2000s. It was either the mid or the late 2000s, but I forget how exactly it started. But yeah, the wussy, bussy, whatever, sussy, stuff like that. But anyway, let's continue.
But to breed another male, to dominate another male. I mean, what is more masculine than that? I can't think of anything more masculine than making another male submit their pussy to you. The ultimate act of masculinity. In fact, the ultimate act.
Yeah, if we were just simple freaking animals, just creatures, if we weren't something that aspires to more than simply animal existence. Ah, I swear to God, hedonism is one of the biggest things holding humanity back. Fire Mango, Peak, Astolfo. Well, yeah, I know that Fire Mango, but I'm trying to remember where they came from originally. Like the term bussy. Like how it started. Like how it became a something in circulation when it came to speech, right? When it came to talking. Uh, Peak, Astolfo, Astolfo. That sounds familiar. Astolfo, Astolfo. I've heard that name somewhere before. Well, anyway, Fire Mango, probably 4chan, 2010s. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's not that far after the 2010s either. It's from an anime. Well, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it was in an anime. It's a historical name, though. It's historical. Well, anyway, let's continue the video. Uh, French Tales from French version of King Arthur. Astolfo was the first one. From the French version of King Arthur. The French version of King Arthur? The French had their own version of the story of King Arthur? I didn't know that. Astolfo was the first knight. There were 8 knights. But also French tales from the French version of King Arthur. And they would always pair up with the 2 knights of opposing ideals. Well, anyway, let's continue the video. It sounds very familiar, though. The Matter of France. Shit, I don't know, dude. Is where it's from. You sure it's from the Matter of France? I'll figure it out later. Let's continue.
Act of heterosexuality, if I've ever seen it. Fight or flight. You're in the wild, hunting for, that pussy in the jungle. It's about who is the apex predator? Who is the apex pussy blaster in the wild? Eat or get eaten. A little bit of history. Not sure how you pronounce this. Koçek? Kosek? What is the Koçek? The Koçek, plural being Koçekler, in Turkish, was typically a very handsome young male, unfortunately perhaps a slave, rakas, or a dancer who usually cross-dressed in feminine attire and was employed as an entertainer. We don't have any pictures. Of course, pictures didn't exist back then, but I imagine something like this. Koçek. Before starting their performance, these Turkish dancers, these Koçeks, male dancers, would dance among the spectators to rile them up, to get them more excited. And this really speaks to how we talk about why the bussy. This is why. The competition to garner the attention of these Koçeks by people sitting in the audience often caused so much commotion and altercations, fights. Men in the audience would go wild. They would literally fight each other. They'd break their glasses. They would shout, kill each other. Yes, you heard me. Men in Turkey would kill each other for the bussy.
Now the question is, did they or did they not know? So did they or did they not? That's the important question. After that, it's just a question of choice. Fire Mango, Charlemagne and his paladins. Is it Charles the Great? It might have been Charles the Great. You could be right. Maybe. Well, anyway. Anyway. This is where traps come in, Badger. A trap's a fanboy who doesn't reveal they are a fanboy and thus traps their partner. So they're a predator. That's what they are. They are a sexual deviant. They are a graper. But anyway, I think if you do that kind of something to somebody, you're not upfront about who and what you are. Like that, and then you try to make somebody trap them in with you. And you purposefully hid the truth that may or may not affect their decisions about you from it. I think any and all domestic physical affairs happening from such a deceit being uncovered should not be considered criminally should not be something considered for criminal prosecution. So if someone does that to you, and then you find out later, wow, They asked for it. Just saying. Fire Mango. Pretty much. And I feel sorry for any young man that falls into these things. But yeah. I feel like it should be something you're allowed to handle personally. Fire Mango. It's common enough at raves. Well, anywhere the Rainbow Cult has their, Slaneshi freaking, circles at. Yeah, you'll find them. Fire Mango. That's why you always go to a well-lit gas station before taking them home. Ain't that the truth? Anyway, let's continue the video.
History, if we don't learn from it, we're doomed to repeat ourselves. And it seems like we are repeating in full force. The femboys have existed for a very long time, and this seems to be encoded in our DNA. Bussy. Yes, because we see the remnants of the Kolchak still today. What does this remind you of right here? I don't think it's rhetorical, because I think you know the remnants of the Kolchak still today. That is Link, Gerudo Link, yes, from the Breath of the Wild. Another example could be Lilac Cookie from Cookie Run Kingdom. These are artifacts, and the reason why we like it so much is because, it's in the blood of our ancestors. I think we would be wrong to talk about femboys without at least mentioning the word trap. I do not like this word, but to not talk about this word in discussion with femboys, it's just ignoring the obvious. I don't like this word. The implication of the word trap implies this, like, secretive, like, almost malicious, like, undercover, like you're tricking people, right? Deceitful, like you're tricking them, or you're trapping them.
I mean, I'm just saying. Not like I just talked about this one. Yeah, indeed, huh? Hell, friggin' A. It's even got its own internet memes and everything. I love it. It's great.
Right, and so,
These are the descendants of Titans. I swear to God. I mean, sure, they do mostly this shit, but look at the other shit they do, too.
origins of the word, I think, were referring to, like, in anime, a boy that is effeminate, that looks like a girl, right? Sometimes more attractive than the girl. Not to be confused with a trap, as in the ghetto, where people are stuck in a cycle of selling drugs and hustling to survive, and therefore trapped and unable to leave and make a better life for themselves. No, that's the trap. We're talking about traps. I think originally it was supposed to stay, in terms of fictional realm, right? But I don't know who co-opted this word, started to apply it to real people. That's when we start to get into this territory of, again, I don't like this pretext of, like, we're trapping people. I really don't like this use of the word, and why I think this is very outdated, right? Like, first and foremost, it's being used, like, with malicious intent. It's being used as a derogatory term, right? First and foremost. But there's a secondary aspect that I think we aren't even acknowledging, which is that it's fundamentally flawed and wrong to equate the word trap with a femboy, or to equate the idea of a trap with a femboy. Why? Because I'm not being fooled. I'm actively seeking out the dick and the bussy. I'm not being fooled. My intention is first and foremost that these are men, that they have dick.
So then you're gay. That's it. But you just like more effeminate looking men rather than the more masculine gay. You get what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah. There we go. End of the video. Is there any more to it, really? I, I really don't think so. Oh shoot. Fire mango. No, that's a twink. But if you're attracted to an effeminate guy, like a dude, like attracted to, and you're also dude, you're also guy, right? You got the chromosomes, the biology. You are male. They are male. You both have a sword. That's homo. There's the. Okay. There's like four. Okay. Well, let's continue. But I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. Hey, it doesn't seem to change it or make it better, no matter what the context is. I. Well, anyway, let's continue. Let's go.
This point, it's just, again, forget the derogatory usage of it. It's just simply not right. It's counterintuitive to the modern appreciation, the modern usage of people being femboys. Because I think if you're a male and you want to be a femboy, I don't think that it's not right for you to feel like you need to pretend to not be male. I think the point of fembology, of femboyology, is that it can be a sort of empowering feeling. You can be a femboy and not be afraid to say that I can be effeminate and a male. I'm not trapping anyone. I'm not fooling anyone. That's not my intention. And if you're seeking it out in that term, that's just, we're not about that. Why do I feel strongly about this? Because I myself have engaged the practice, and I guess this comes to my next point. The next question is, the question is, I'm talking about femboys. We're lecturing about femboys. Professor Lando, are you a femboy? I will be providing you some contextual media for reference.
I knew that was coming. I freaking knew it. It's great though. But wouldn't that be different? That's cross dressing. Just because you dress up doesn't mean you are. I can say I'm a Democrat, but if I do everything in favor of Republicans or all right wing shit, well, then I'm not a Democrat, am I? Just saying. Anyway, um, yeah, I don't see a blurred line between. Yeah, I don't see it. Anyway, Unfortunately for him, he's too stacked. Right? The guy's shredded. The guy is shredded, and he's got like he's very bulk fit, right? Right? You could tell he does a lot of work. He's a serious athlete. Unfortunately, he's too square. He can't pull off the female physique. But anyway, still pretty funny. Still pretty cool. A crossdresser is not a femboy. I know, I said that earlier. I said a crossdresser, well, that's a different thing. But you can be a femboy and a crossdresser. That was a meme cosplay. But femboys are someone who adopts feminine traits. A crossdresser just wears women's clothes. But you could have both at the same time. And a single individual. Right? The latter is true. It doesn't work in the reverse. I get what you mean. Right? But yeah, I get you. But freaking A. It's great. It's great. I remember there was an event. I forget the name of it, but there's like an event before, I believe it's before Sadie Hawkins, where the boys and girls, like the boys dress up in girls' clothes and the girls dress up in boy clothes. The guys would like, if you had like a couple of girls that were sweet with you from the cheerleaders squad, you could borrow their uniforms for the day. So yeah, like but that doesn't mean everybody's gay, right? Fire Mango. It's like how twinks are slender men, but fanboys are often slender men who are feminine. Calls Plato and Aristotle, but also that's an Astolfo cosplay. That's right. Astolfo is a character. I think it was from one of the Fate. Was it one of the Fate series or movies? It was probably. My guess is it was probably Apocrypha. It was probably Fate Apocrypha. Because I believe there was a. Yeah, I believe there was like a. Yeah, that's right. He was all three. He was a crossdresser. He was a femboy. And he was gay. Astolfo. That's right. That's right. That's true. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Never mind. Never mind. I don't know. I don't watch much anime. I just know the memes, but the other most popular one is Felix. Oh, okay. Just crazy. Yeah, I was like, wait. I've heard of that before somewhere. But it's also got a historical reference to it. I just don't remember the historical part.
So, in my research in fembology, I was in the field, some anthropological work as a femboy. And this is me practicing
Holy shit, the dude's ripped.
the
Anytime, like, I don't know if y'all probably can't see it. I don't know. There's like folds, right? This clothing is very, is pretty flaccid. Whenever it just like barely indents onto him, like directly, and it's not all baggy, you could see the dude has it like a freaking 12 pack. I swear to God, he's ripped. He's too square. The dude is too fit to pull it off. Anyway, let's continue.
art of fembology in the field, right? Some people, they join Red Cross and they go across the
Yeah, he's the buff Asian professor meme. Yeah, right. He's Master Roshi. Right. When someone pisses him off. Or what was the name of the head captain of the Soul Society of the 13 court guard squads? Uh from Bleach, I believe. I believe it was head captain Yamamoto. Am I imagining this? I believe there's a part in Bleach where I believe it was head captain Yamamoto fights two of the other captains because they're like trying to stop the execution of I believe her name's Rukia. But yeah, he fights two of them at once, and he's so pissed off he like takes off his cloak. Right, he's like this, bent over, decrepit looking all the time, and then he stands up straight. Freaking just, he's just ripped. He just unkinks himself, gets ready for combat. Just drawing his blade causes them pain. Dude, yeah, that's basically him. I'm pretty sure it's head captain Yamamoto. I'm fairly certain that's him. Well, anyway, let's continue.
to help impoverished nations, impoverished communities. Some people do missionary work for the church. Some people enlist in the military, put their lives on the line. I dressed up as a Stolfo at an anime convention. To classify someone as
We were both right.
a femboy? Is there a ratio of time spent dressing up feminine, wearing makeup, doing feminine things versus being, masculine or just being, themselves as in male? That seems like gatekeeping to me. And that doesn't seem right. Is every once in a while enough to be a femboy? You want to say that you can just be a femboy no matter how much, but however, if you're trying to lose weight and every day you eat McDonald's and one day out of the month you eat a salad, doesn't mean you're dieting. You know what I mean? Do I have to constantly shave my body to be a femboy every day? Do I even need to do it at all? I don't know. Saying it out loud, I want to say no. Once a femboy, always a femboy. Much like the Marines. I think a femboy lecture would not be really complete without some mention of popular references in pop culture, aka femboys. As you can see here,
Oh shit, dude. Oh shit. That's great. That's great. I like that. It's got a hilarity to it. Oh man.
have ample artifacts of a certain character named Astolfo from Fate Grand Order. I gotta make sure not to draw this too quickly as
It was Fate Grand Order? Or was it Apocrypha? Fate Grand Order or Apocrypha? No, I'm fairly certain it was Apocrypha. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Fate Apocrypha. It wasn't Grand Order. Or was it Fate Grand Order Apocrypha? Fate Apocrypha. I'm pretty sure it is this one. Astolfo's not in grand order. Yeah, I didn't think so. Fate Apocrypha, yeah. Now let's look up Fate Grand Order. I'm very certain Astolfo is not in Fate Grand Order. Yeah, very certain he's not. Well, anyway, let's continue. Yeah, sidetracked like a mofo.
To avoid rousing
I know,
suspicion.
let's go.
Astolfo, Rider of Black. I really like Astolfo as a character, but I would hate to boil down Astolfo to simply being the gateway drug of femboys. I do think that we need to acknowledge that Astolfo is sort of that. Is the marijuana of femboys, the gateway femboy. Let's throw up some.
You would think it would have been Boku no Pico, not Fate Apocrypha. Right? I would think so. I'm fairly certain, yeah. Because Astolfo's a character that just happens to be a femboy, right? It's not like them being a fanboy is everything about their character. It's not like any of this woke garbage they've been trying to force feed us the past few years. It's totally different. Right? It's kind of like how, if you're a regular, normal human being, if a man offers you a kilt to wear, whether or not you refuse has nothing to do with your dignity or pride or ego. It's more so that it's just not your style. Right? I'm sure people probably get what I mean. That's what femboys are, people who for non-sexual reason behave effeminate. Which makes me believe they're gay. Or they're at that little borderline, right? Maybe. Well, anyway, let's finish off the video.
Examples. Hidari.
Sidetracked indeed.
From Blend S. I recently started playing this game. Venti from Genshin Impact. Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Sasha from Animal Crossing.
I don't know shit about Genshin Impact. Or the first one, for that matter. Fire Mango. Actually, mostly only date women. Let me tell you, in the modern era, it's masculine women, feminine men. Well, no, that's always been a thing. There's a few things in the Bible that are just intrinsically right when it comes to reality. And one of them is this: nothing new under the sun. Anything and everything that's going to happen, will happen, and does happen, and could happen, and did happen is always going to keep on happening. There is nothing new under the sun. Uh, let me tell you, Badger, it's a joke. We're so close. So close to what? I'm too damn. I am way too up in the clouds right now for that. My brain don't funk. My thunk don't brain. Well, anyway, let's continue. Fucking A. You're triggering my rant dialogue every 15 minutes. I swear to God. You know all my routes.
To talk about the fact that femboys come in all different shapes and sizes, we talked about, like, do I need to be shaven every day? Do I have to be, you know, this traditional femboy look all the time? I want to say no. I think that's the right answer. You know, we are all connoisseurs of femboys. I imagine sort of like a fancy masquerade, right? Like some European, we're all wearing suits and ties and we have swirly mustaches. Classical music is playing, you know? Yes, indubitably. I've come here to the welcome everyone to the monthly gathering of us femboy connoisseurs. My name is Sir Maxwell Worthington II, and president of our here chapter of the femboy connoisseurship. And
there is literal, real life clubs like this. I shit you not. How do I know? Because I've seen one. That's how. But no, there's literally like community clubs that are in certain places dedicated to this. Right? Kind of like how it used to be that the gay scene was strictly gay stuff, right? It's kind of like that. Anyway, if somebody thinks they wouldn't, I swear to God, there's no helping the fool. Anyway, let's go.
And I do like to enjoy my femboys to be a certain way, and you know, I have my preference, and you know how it is. For me personally, enjoy my femboys to be a little more masculine. So this is going to be controversial. You know, some characters in anime, their build and voice are basically just a girl, aka Hirari from Blend S, which is fine. You know, to be a femboy, there's a spectrum. But to me, these characters are just femboy in name. For all extensive purposes in their media, they're simply another female character. Why even make them a femboy? It almost seems like pandering at that point or something. Where's the boy? And again, there's some men out there that are very feminine, very feminine presenting, and that's fine. But I'm just saying that in terms of being a femboy, don't be so worried about being uber feminine. Cloud is a perfect example of my ideal femboy. Maybe because I relate to the character more physically, mentally.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait. What did he say?
In terms of being a femboy, don't be so worried about being uber feminine. Cloud is a perfect example of my ideal femboy.
Wait a minute. Hold up a sec. What? Okay. I gotta hear that again, real quick. What?
Being a femboy, don't be so worried about being uber feminine. Cloud is a perfect example of my ideal fanboy.
Cloud's a fanboy? What? Hold up a sec. So, Firemango. Cloud is the femboy who acts feminine but is masculine enough to still remain a femboy. Cloud Link. Unk, hear me out. So gay? So is that it? That's the uber femininity? The fuck? Some take it too far. If you're going for a fanboy, the boy still needs to be. So they're gay. There you go. Done. There we go. Gay. Done. We found our answer. That's it. That's all. That's that's all, folks. Oh shit. Silly wabbit. That's it. There we go. That's all. Does the femboy have to be gay? No. But if somebody desires a femboy and they know boy is part of it, then they're gay. There we go. Conclusion, you know, concluded. There we go. That's the answer. That's it. That's all. Well, anyway, let's finish the video.
Maybe because I relate to the character more physically, mentally. I think that's part of it. Maybe sort of projecting myself onto the character. Cloud is very, you could even say built, very, very masculine. Compared to characters like Hidari and Venti. Link very much fits into this category. You know, not like masculine as like huge honking macho, like huge characters. You know, to see characters like Cloud wearing the dress, cross-dressing, getting dick down in the bathroom of the Honeybee Inn in Final Fantasy, there's something more relatable to me there. I would like
I think I actually fucking heard that. What the hell did we? Did I just roll into? The fuck is this? Oh shit. My teleport failed. I'm in hell. Well, anyway, let's go back to that. All right. I swear to God, I heard something. Let's go.
macho, like huge characters. You know, to see characters like Cloud wearing the dress, cross-dressing, getting dick down in the bathroom of the Honeybee Inn in Final Fantasy, there's something more relatable to me there.
Never mind, I did hear that. Why? Why? All right, I get it. Shock and awe. Okay, shock and awe. The dumb grunt gets it. I understand. But damn. Oh shoot, dude. Okay. All right. Let's finish out the video. Just one. Let's continue.
I would like to cap this lecture by simply
Gay.
saying that I believe the taint is the male version of cleavage, where the mound, you talk about purple mountain majesty, this sort of mound, the great American dream, rather, where the taint meets the top of the balls, that is like a golden zone. And much like where the thighs meet the thigh high, I do think that is sort of like the male version of cleavage. And
oh shit. He put thought into this one. Holy damn. Are we sure he's okay, IRL? Are we sure? Is he not on a list by now? I swear to you. Seems like a good idea, I'm just saying.
now that I'm thinking about it, I might just be gay.
Oh shit. True. True. Did I call it or what? Did I call it or what, Fire Mango? That was my conclusion all along. I was right the whole time. But it took us an hour and 50 minutes to do it. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It was funny. It really was. Anyway, that was a request from Fire Mango. From Professor Lando. I got a sub to him now. Here, I'll share Pro Lando Femboy Gay video. There you go. There's a link, everybody. Oh, shoot. Fire Mango, you should make this a VOD. This would go crazy. If Clipchamp would stop deleting all my shit, I swear to God, like, look, I didn't have this many problems with Adobe, but Adobe is so hard to use. Adobe is such a pain in the freaking ass. Oh, shit. Well, anyway, I should make this a VOD. I wish I had editors. I wish I had somebody who could, like, clip my shit and then just post it on their channel. That's the only way this goes anywhere, is if people share it. That's about it. Otherwise, it's totally fucked. This would go crazy. You think so? I don't think so. But yeah, that was great. That really was. But I was right the whole time, wasn't I? I called it. I didn't even see the video yet. And I was like, huh, gay! That's what the conclusion was going to be. Right? Anyway. What else you got for me? You got anything else? Before I get like 1,000,000 pounds more of edibles in my system. And then go freaking, lay down. Nah? Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. Oh, brother. It's so disappointing, though, that we didn't get the freaking silencers NFA thing done. I'm as disappointed as Leaflet on that. Fire Mango, thanks for taking the request. Of course, I owe you. I just needed it to be vocally a request confirmed. That way it's for the stream. because there's a lot of people that just listen, they don't watch. But anyway, that being said, I might just go to bed. But yeah, it's been fun, bub. It's been fun. And then this is for the rest of everyone. Have a happy 4th of July if I don't see you. Let freedom ring. Hopefully we keep mopping the Middle East. That's always fun. But yeah, be good. Be safe. Make good life for yourselves. And I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm Badger 7 Actual, the formerly homeless veteran Blast Cat Badger. Out. Va con Dios.